Siener van Rensburg, a South African prophet of the God of Israel as claimed by his followers, to this day. His vague visions inspire people even to this day. We also examine Adrian Snyman and his writings with his personal interpretations of Van Rensburg. Has Snyman's vision become Van Rensburg's? This video is meant for those who are familiar with the seer and not an introduction to him. Like Nostradamus, Van Rensburg's works are very difficult to distinguish even for those of us in the esoteric arts. Van Rensburg was no Nostradamus. Van Rensburg is said to have never practiced occultism, however it is well known he only read one book. The Bible. A book with more occultism than a continent of druids. Van Rensburg's demeanor is noted as almost monk-like. He was clearly born different than most. Much more attuned to nature and spirituality. Siener is known to have read the Bible by sounding out words, one at a time, and probably mispronouncing some as well. Let those who have understanding realize this is how Nicholas Peter Johannes Jans van Rensburg became the seer. To say it vaguely, his pineal gland was functioning and triggering at a level unfathomable today. This is the pure fact. Afrikaans is a special language cryptically speaking, as it is well noted of the clairvoyant effect some of its speakers have. Even Van Rensburg himself couldn't make light of his own visions, having seen both the man in the brown suit and the man in the grey suit as a guide to help explain visions to him on multiple occasions. It is well known for every action you have a reaction. The universe is controlled by duality. The energy beings that Rensburg witnessed, the man in the brown and grey suit, might possibly bring levels of destruction with them that have been spoken about since written history, as the seer describes by their physical manifestation if he is correct. It is very well possible that these being or beings have obtained a level of energy unfathomable to mere mortals. The way Van Rensburg described his visions, it does not describe the magnitude. He was a gentleman that was deeply affected psychologically from the visions he had even from a young age. He is depicted as someone who was constantly distracted by visions of imagery and symbolism, so his mind was in a meditative state almost constantly. The frequency level of his brain waves would have been something worthy of scientific exploration. During World War II, it is well known that distribution of Siener van Rensburg visions was prohibited and ordered destroyed by the Prime Minister, Jan Smuts. The visions of Siener van Rensburg had attracted attention from outside South Africa. Even Agatha Christie titled a 1924 book The Man in the Brown Suit, based in South Africa. Coincidences are few. It is not my job to translate every one of Van Rensburg's visions. However, to add some clarity on a few subjects, Van Rensburg said in Europe there are 3 plastered vats filled with dry grass, and a Turk ignites them. Adrian Snyman claims that to have been Saddam Hussein. Adrian Snyman is wrong. That has not happened yet in Anno Lucis 6017 and will happen at a later date. Mr. Snyman is right on many interpretations of visions and he is wrong on many as well. Interpretation is a dangerous thing, as proved especially with the Islamic religion. It should also be noted, the man in the brown suit, the blue suit, and the grey suit could be representing a trinity. Any mention of Germany should not be taken as little Germany as you know it today, as Seer notes the world will change in a day. We are at stage 3 as far as the plagues that Seer mentioned, as the Arab and African hordes are coming in by the millions per year into Western Europe. Van Rensburg mentions an English stain on the flag. It is no mistake that today the flag of South Africa is depicted as a spear going through the Verkleer, symbolizing the mark of the beast 666. Quoting Van Rensburg, during that time the Boers will require a strong leader to show them the road ahead. It will be the task of an unknown spiritual leader who will have to unite the people and prepare them for the struggle at hand. Van Rensburg says it will be a spiritual leader, so now we know where to look. He tells us that much, despite being so vague and being confused over future visions. Van Rensburg said that this time they, the Boer people, will not rely on the fleshy arm of their leaders again. Nonetheless, a spiritual leader who will unite and arm the nation will rise in the Eastern Province. This here also alludes to something. The person described by Van Rensburg will not be a leader of the Boer people, yet he will unite them? That makes no sense unless you take one thing into account. The man Siener van Rensburg describes isn't South African nor Boer. Based on my research, between Siener van Rensburg and Snyman, the kosher synergy of Snyman's translations keeps the legend of the seer relevant today. Reading the visions in raw form does not inspire a generation of thinkers. Thus Snyman has breathed life into a centuries-old visions of a farmer from the Transvaal. Even if he is wrong on many of the interpretations, Seer didn't exactly help anyone understand by having out-of-sequence visions. To understand the mindset of a man 100 years ago is not an easy task, as he couldn't understand present our world during his visions. As we look at the world today, we see many parallels of the visions and our world. South Africa faces an economic crisis. Racism is only growing worldwide, even worse than pre-1994, facilitated by the media and non-governmental organizations. The Eastern Bloc has become the enemy of the West again, and the old geopolitical puzzle pieces are up for play again. Afrocentric Marxism is on the rise along with widespread corruption of the ruling junta. The ANC extreme liberalism and traitors of common sense also exist. In this universe, in this dimension, every action is predetermined and has already happened. We are just actors of destiny during this current moment of time. One day, our world will unite as one voice. Until that day comes, stand ready to defend your freedom as countless patriots throughout history have. You decide your democracy and sovereignty. When pushed against a wall, fight back. May the guiding force of the universe bless and protect all of us from the trials and tribulations of this material world and deliver us from evil. Amen.